3 tons actually. I'm not sure why I said 5 tons. I have 3 tons. Where have you guys been? I haven't seen you in probably a week or so. And the reason being, we got a bunch of rain over the past week. I mean, a bunch of rain. And I'm not complaining because we needed it. Our hay field looked pretty terrible. It's looking a lot better now. But that's the reason you guys haven't seen me. We got rained out of our work almost every day for the past probably 7 or 8 days. But let me show you what we got done in the garden this morning. You guys hang in there. It is Monday morning. Let's make sure we got everything to the tractor. We're gonna go work at the pole barn this morning. Actually, the biggest part of the day. This right here is my little kit for the grease gun. I'll show you guys this down at the barn. We got some fabric to put down. Got my socket set if I need it. I got some hangers to put up down at the barn for tools. And most importantly, I got my TYM bag, which is full of cameras. And most importantly, GoPro batteries. I go through 20 of these a day sometimes. I misspoke there just a second ago. That footage of the garden was yesterday, not this morning. I have no idea why I said it was this morning. That was yesterday. That was the best weather we've had in over a week. And I didn't do any videoing yesterday, which was Sunday, because all I got done was garden work and mowing all 3 lawns and all 3 houses that we own. I don't like to mow either. So right here's the hay field, and it's looking a lot better. About 2 weeks ago, everything was brown. It's finally greening up with all that rain we got. So I think we're gonna have a decent second cutting if we're lucky. So real fast here, friends, in reference to this hay field, in the off season, we're going to do some soil samples. You can take samples of your dirt from different parts of your field and send them to a local college. That local college for me is the University of Tennessee down in Knoxville. It's a couple of hours down the road. And they will analyze your soil and tell you what you need. So for those of you that have fields that are new to farming or homesteading and you're not sure what your dirt needs, check with your local college and see if they offer that service. I didn't know nothing about it until we bought this farm this year, but we're gonna be doing that this fall so we can find out what kind of fertilizer this field needs. Now, we moved here in 2018, and there was a gentleman across the road named Virgil that always cut the hay here, but he never fertilized it to my knowledge. And I don't think it's been fertilized or kept up for the past maybe 10 or 15 years, maybe even longer back than that. The previous owner said about 10 years ago, he remembers somebody putting some fertilizer on it, but he wasn't sure. So that's the reason we probably didn't get a really good hay yield this year. We got 31 bales. I think we could do better. But that's what we're gonna do this fall, is do some dirt samples all over this field, send them off, and find out what this farm needs. And I'll take you guys along with me for that journey because I'll be learning as I go. All right, so we're down here in the pole barn, and my objective today is to go ahead and start putting rock in here. That's why I got the textile fabric with me. We're gonna do that in 12-foot strips. I'm gonna start right here in the middle, and the reason we're not gonna start on this wall, actually there's two reasons. The first reason is I'm gonna put some rock over here in this swell that's getting the water away from the building. This is working really good. Like I said, guys, it's rained for the past week or so here, and inside the barn is pretty much dry. There's a little bit of mud right here, but this is mostly from the blow in. My weather comes from this direction, so water comes in this way, and hopefully here by the end of the week, we'll have the contractors back over here to put this wall up to cover this with metal. Hopefully that'll happen this week, see what happens with that. But the reason we're not going to put gravel over here yet is because I want to bring gravel to this swell and keep this with rock and put some riprap over there where it gets kind of steep. And I'm also going to be pouring some stem walls right here between each post. The machine that's going to help me do that should be here either today or tomorrow. And once we get all that done, I'll move the gravel over here. But first things first, we're going to start right here in the middle. And I got 5 tons, and I want to see how far that gets me. 3 tons, actually. I'm not sure why I said 5 tons. I have 3 tons. And did I mention how expensive gravel is? Man, it's high. So for that job, we're going to be using Mr. Cotto. And something I mentioned earlier was this little kit that I put together for the grease gun. And guys, if you have a farm or a homestead or whatever, this right here is a great idea. Get you a little toolbox. I got this one at Harbor Freight. It was probably $30. I keep my grease gun in there, extra grease, rags, large Q-tips. These are oversized Q-tips, not because I have earwax, which I probably do, but these are for cleaning your grease fittings. I'll leave links down the video description to all these tools right here if you want to go pick them up. Everything in this box I picked up besides this box on Amazon. You can probably find one of these on Amazon though. DeWalt makes these, and pretty much everybody under the sun. And as far as my grease goes, this stuff right here is expensive, friends. It's called Schaefer's 238 synthetic blend for extreme pressure. I use this on everything that I own. It's expensive, but in my opinion, it's good insurance. Now, I used to use Lucas Oil Red and Tacky. That stuff works really good. No problems with it. I've got several tubes up at the sawmill I need to use actually before I switch over to Schaefer's altogether. And the reason I switched over to Schaefer's was there's a diesel mechanic up north that I really respect a lot that works on tractors. And he told me Schaefer's is the way to go. And he's never stirred me wrong on anything. So hopefully he's right, because this stuff ain't cheap. It's about $14 a tube. I think it's a good investment. Now, having something like this, friends, is super handy because you always have extra grease with you. You got your rags. And I should probably put some extra grease fittings in here and a grease fitting tool. That'd be good also. I think I'll do that. So before we put down our rock, we're going to put down a layer of this textile fabric. This right here, friends, is more good insurance. It keeps the gravel from getting sunk down in the dirt and the mud and makes it last a whole lot longer. And it also keeps the weeds from growing through. I really like this stuff. I also get this on Amazon. They sell this locally at the farm store, but Amazon is a whole lot cheaper. Somebody asked in a previous video how tall the barn is. The side walls are 14 feet. Up here to the peak, I think it's about 20. It's pretty tall. I'm gonna put some lights in here also. Somebody asked me in the live last night about putting some lights in here. We're gonna be running full power to this building, probably 200 amps. And I'll probably rent me a lift to run the conduit for the lights. That's pretty high up, and I don't like ladders. Measure off 12 feet from the wall over here, and we'll know where to start this first one. It's gonna be really nice to finally get some rock in this building. And we'll start making it really come to life when I start moving machines in here. Hopefully we'll bring the log splitter down here today, and maybe the sawmill. Keyword is maybe. So right there's 12 foot. Put a rock so we know where to start it. Now we're ready for some fabric. And also, guys, as I work here today, I want to try to answer some questions about this barn. I am going to bury some pipe to come off these gutters. I'm actually going to put a rainwater collection system on that corner down there, but both of these will pretty much be fed underground to a corrugated pipe. It will go under the road and it will terminate over there in the hayfield. So without a doubt, we're going to need more rock today. I'm going to make a few phone calls and see if I can get somebody to deliver me about 20 tons. But if everybody's busy, and they usually are, I guess we'll take the dump trailer and go do it ourselves. Now, I'm not sure how this looks on camera, guys. This is not your weed barrier that you would find at Lowe's that people put in their flower beds. This stuff is really thick right here. And since it's going to be completely out of the weather, it should last maybe 20 to 30 years. Maybe longer than that, who knows? Really good stuff. So I've worked with this stuff many times, and it will move on you just a little, especially if you're driving equipment over it, spreading rocks. So I like to put these pins in it, and these are called anchoring pins. Most people use these for the fabric you put in your flower beds, but they work really good on this stuff right here. And it will shift a little bit because that skid steer weighs about 8,000 pounds, but try to be careful and don't be real aggressive with your tracks and you'll be okay. If you start making a lot of turns in here on top of this stuff before gravel gets put on it, you can rip a hole in it pretty fast. But this right here helps keep it in place and helps keeping it from shifting around a whole lot. The theme of today's video is insurance. This right here is good insurance to keep this stuff from moving around. All right, guys, we're at the first runway done. I guess we could call this a runway. Kind of looks like that right here in the middle. It looks pretty good. Now, off camera, I come in here with the rake and knock down some high spots, but that happens. You know, I'm not perfect on that machine, but I do my best. This right here, friends, looks pretty good. I'm happy with what I'm looking at right now. But we have one problem, and that problem is we're out of gravel. This right here was about maybe 5 tons, something like that. And it covered this middle section right here, which is what I wanted, but it didn't go no further than that. I need about, gosh, I probably need 15 more tons to do everything in here, plus the swell, maybe 20 tons, I don't know. But I did stop it over here on this side, and let me show you. Correction, friends, this was 4 tons, not 5 tons. I don't know why I keep on saying 5 tons for. So anyways, I stopped right here, and we're about 12 foot from the entrance of the building. And the reason is the LT70 is going to sit right here long ways, and I don't really need gravel under the 70. It's going to have bark under it, sawdust, you know, all that good stuff. I can't have the dust collector down here yet because we don't have no power, so sawdust will be laying right here on the floor as we saw up logs. And if I like the placement of the sawmill right here, if I can get enough funds together, I may pour a slab right here just for the mill. Or I may just leave it, you know, dirt. I haven't decided on yet. And I got a quote the other day for a 30-foot pad, 10 foot wide. All right, guys, sit down for this. $6,000. $6,000. Man, that's high. The pad for the timber frame is 30 by 42 and it's 10 inches tall on 2 of the corners. $4,500 a couple of years ago. That's amazing that concrete's not that much more expensive. Man, that's high. But like I said in a previous video, I'm liking working down here on the gravel and the dirt. It's not really affecting me like the concrete does, so I may just leave it dirt. Who knows? I know a few guys that will deliver rock out here, but they're usually pretty busy. So we'll give one of them a call and see if they can come out here today and bring me about 10 tons. But if they can't, I'll get the dump trailer. I guess me and you will go get it. Hopefully they're not too busy today. But they probably will be. It's nice weather. I'll be surprised if he answers the phone.
Hello?
Hey, Mr. Hitz, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good. I was needing rock, and I didn't know if you was busy today.
Well, I'm not too busy today. Where you need them at?
This is the sawmill guy. You know where I'm at out here in Sullivan Gardens?
Oh, yeah.
And how many tons can you haul?
I usually haul somewhere around 9 to 10 tons.
I'll take 10 tons of number 1 if you could bring it.
What's number 1?
I'm sorry, 1 inch.
Oh, yeah, I got 57 about as close as I get to 1 inch.
Yeah, 57. Now, some guys call it 1 inch. Some guys around here call it 57. And one guy called it number 1 the other day when I called him. And I was like, what's a number 1? I got it in my head. That's why I said that. So, but
yeah, I'll get you one and be there, and it'll be a while.
Okay, well, that's fine. I'll just have you. Well, I got a brand new barn I built down here at the bottom. You can't miss it, and I'll be down here. So just give me a call when you get close, and I'll meet you down here.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Well, that's a relief. He could bring about 9 or 10 tons out here. That would probably take me. Actually, that would take me about 3 trips on my dump trailer. Now he'll charge me a haul bill, probably $100. I'll let you guys know after it gets here what I pay for everything, but that's well worth it because that keeps me from having to run back and forth today, and I can stay here and get some things done. I can't believe he answered. He's usually so busy when it's good weather like this. He's hauling, he's usually got a backlog of people to haul rock for. So I'm happy right now, but I've also got to go get some money. He only takes cash, and I don't blame him. All right, guys, I'm going to go up to the house and have an early lunch and go grab him some money, and I'll see you guys back here in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Sure is a nice day out here. It's really nice to be working out of the sun in this barn. Had to grab some more fabric out of the garage to go into the gravel, and I think this is 6 foot by 200. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong though. If I am, it'll be the first time this year. So we'll cover up this part right here, and this little area between the rock and the lean-to is probably more than 12 feet. I'll probably do 2 6-foot layers and call it done, because I got some stuff over here next to the lean-to I don't want to move right now. So we'll do another run of 12 foot by 60. Have to move the tractors back here out of the way also. And I'm also going to have to move the edger out of the way. But I think I'll go ahead and take the edger over here, you guys hang with me, to where it's going to be set up all the time, which is right there. You see where I'm pointing at? Not the gravel, but right between the gravel and that post right there. That's where the edger is going to live, I think, if I like this setup. So let me see here. It's about 12:30. If he eats lunch till 1, goes to the quarry, he may get here by 2:30, maybe 2 o'clock, something like that. So we got a little bit of time to kill, so I think I'm going to take Mr. Cotto up to the house and get a new attachment that I bought Friday to move trailers around with. I've been needing one of these for a long time, and it was cheaper than you think. All right, guys, real fast. I bought this on Amazon. It's a quick attach plate pretty much right there, but it has a receiver on the front, so you can put you a ball hitch in there and move your trailers around. I've seen other guys use these for a long time. I've always wanted one. I found this on Amazon. It was $225 with free shipping. I'm sure it's Chinese, which it doesn't really matter. It looks like it's decent steel. The only thing I don't like about it is the color. That orange looks terrible on Mr. Cotto right there. It will also look pretty bad on the tractors. Probably paint that black sooner than later. But before we use it, I need to tighten up these bolts right here on the front. This isn't sponsored by this company. I have no idea who makes this. If I did, I probably couldn't pronounce it. But if you're interested in them, I'll leave a link down below. I found this on Amazon. That was the cheapest place that had them. I got on Facebook Marketplace, and there was a local co-op that sold something similar to this, and they were $750. I think this was $225 out the door. That's not too bad, and it weighs about 100 pounds. Hopefully it will hold up for the long term, but it's not going to have a lot of stress under it, just moving trailers around. The reason I was wanting this is because I don't know how many times I've come home with the trailer, and it's been raining and muddy, and the truck gets stuck somewhere or something goes wrong, and a skid steer can put a trailer somewhere a whole lot more precise and easier, I think, than a truck can. But then again, I'm just a YouTuber. What do I know? Here lately, I've been trying to leave a basic set of tools in my side-by-side all the time, because you never know when you're going to need something. This is my 3/8 drive set. I got this at Harbor Freight. The brand name is Icon. Works really good. I like this set. And one reason I really like it is because it's modular. Let's say you're working on something. You can grab a set of these sockets and take the whole thing with you. That's pretty nice too. And this is not sponsored by Harbor Freight or Nikon, or Icon rather. I'm just showing you guys stuff I use here at my sawmill. I bet this is number 19. Yep, number 19. It was metric. Who would have thought? The reason I go in detail about all my tools is some of you guys asked in the comment sections on every one of these videos, you'll mention a specific tool that I'm using. I think it's helpful to tell you guys in the video what I'm using. You know, some people get mad and they say I'm trying to sell them stuff. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't care what you buy, it's your money. But I'll show you what I use at my sawmill and my farm, and maybe it might help you. And maybe you know, maybe you have something better than I have. You never know. These icon tools, I really like them. They work really good. And this 3/8 set, I think it was $129, but I am a Fast Track member at Harbor Freight. I think that's the right term. So I do get a discount when I buy stuff. That should be good enough. If that comes off, I'll probably take a hostage. A short delay on setting up this edger. It looks like the gravel's here. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, Marshall got here earlier than I thought. He skipped lunch today, so we got an early delivery. What you're looking at is 5 tons. I'm sorry, not 5 tons. My goodness, Nathan. I'm stuck on 5 tons today. This is 10 tons of 57, which is close to 1 inch. A little minus in there as well, some smaller stuff. This is a really good size rock for your barns or buildings or even driveways. That's what we use on that road over there. Works really good. So anyways, he came from a different location that I get my rock from, and guess what he paid? So the quarry that I go to, I pay $35 a ton right now for that stuff, and that could change at any time. That stuff fluctuates like the stock market, it seems like, but it's been above 30 for the past few months, it seems like. I doubt it will ever go below $30 again. So he came from another quarry on the other side of town. He paid $30 a ton for the same stuff. So when you add in the tonnage and delivery, it costs me $420. $300 for the rock, $120 for the delivery fee. That's a pretty good deal, and it keeps me at home working, so I ain't got to run back and forth hauling rock all day. All right, so back to the edger. I think I'm going to leave it right there for now. That may change once the sawmill gets down here. It may go further that way or that way, who knows. This little attachment works really good, but you must get the angle just right for that to fall on top of your receiver right there, or the ball hitch rather. That sounds a lot better, my goodness. You gotta get that angle just right for that to fall on top of the ball where you can lock it down. Had a hard time getting that angle just right, but once I got it on there, it was fine. And as far as moving this trailer around that's under this edger, using that is a whole lot better than using a vehicle. That worked out really nice. I should have bought that a long time ago. So back on the gravel detail, we're going to come over another 12 foot. So need to move both these TYM tractors out of the way. They're sticking out way too far. Now we need to put down 2 rolls of fabric. See if this works. All right, haven't done that in a while. I guess it still works. Got all of our fabric down. Let's spread some rock. All right, guys, that right there looks pretty good. As I drive back and forth with the excavator, the tractors, you know, the skid steer, this will get, you know, compacted down pretty good. It's kind of loose right now on top of this fabric, but I still like it. I think that's the way to go. And something I thought about buying, I haven't bought it yet, but I may buy it in the future, is a plate compactor, if that's the right word. Looks like a lawnmower, and you push it back and forth and it compacts the soil, or the rock rather. They're kind of expensive. I think the one I looked at Harbor Freight was about $700, but if I had one of those and I could run it back and forth on this rock, I think that would be a good thing. But I don't have one just yet. Maybe soon. All right, guys, moving on. I want to head off camera and put some more fabric over here in this swell. I got most of it covered with one piece. I'll have to cut me a short piece for this bottom right here. And my thinking is I'm going to put rock right there, the 97 gravel that would just spread up there. I'm going to put it right here at the bottom. But over here, I don't know if you guys can tell it, it starts going uphill. And where it starts going uphill right through there, I'm going to put some riprap, which is that larger rock. I think that'd look pretty good, and it would keep me from having to weed eat this bank right here, because I can mow that. And that would keep the erosion down, and I think it'd look nice. And here in a few days, hopefully, when they put the metal on this side of the building, this whole side will be covered. It will prevent mud splashing at the bottom from heavy rains onto the metal. Or that's my thinking, at least. I think it'll work out pretty good. One of my goals with this building, friends, is not only to have it very functional for the sawmill, so it's going to work perfectly for my operation and for storing my equipment in, I also want it to look nice. That's why we're doing this landscaping back here. I know it might be overkill. Some of you guys may be thinking it's just a barn, but when you pull down my road and way before you get to my house, you will pass this barn every time, and I want it to look nice. I spent a lot of money on this place. Might as well make it look the best we can. Now, I guess we'll jump in Mr. Cotto and spread some more rock. You guys hang in there. All right, guys, a little example here of how this is going to look when it's done. You got your rock down here in the swell, and on the side of the bank, some riprap. I think that's going to look really good. I'm thinking maybe 2 tons of riprap should do this whole bank right here, hopefully. See what happens, I guess, but I think it's gonna look really good. That will keep the water that comes down the hill from causing erosion and still send all the water down through there. It's actually been about an hour since I put that riprap down. My neighbors stopped by. We had to solve the world's problems, and we solved just about every one of them. I think there's one left we gotta do some more figuring on, but the rest of them, I think we took care of. All right, guys, I think I'm done for the day. And yet again, I did not get done what I hoped to get done, which was bring the sawmill down here. And there's a pretty good reason because of that. This gravel work and this rock over here on the bank is taking longer than I expected it to take because I'm videoing it. If I wouldn't run the video camera today, I would probably got everything done. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's why the sawmill's not here. But hopefully tomorrow we can get it down here. But I'm not even going to say that, actually. I'm not going to talk about it no more. Every time I say we're bringing the sawmill down here, it doesn't happen. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Maybe it'll happen tomorrow. But do two things for me here if you don't care. Number one, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you didn't enjoy it, hit that button anyways. It ain't going to cost you nothing. And make sure that you're still subscribed to the channel. A lot of people have been telling me that they get unsubscribed to my channel by YouTube, or who knows what happens there. I don't know what happens. It's amazing. It happens all the time, it seems like. But make sure that you're still subscribed and hit that notification button so you get notified about new videos and stuff like that.